On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DCKYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867. Louisiana.
Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Hi, welcome to the Dick Morris and Doug Depierro show, sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group.
Hello,
I'd like
Dick
to
Morris.
begin this show by predicting the future to you, because I have a very clear view of what's going to happen over the next 6 years or 10 years in American politics. It's very clear, and I wanted to outline it to you. It begins with the fact that the economic policies of the conservatives and the Trump administration have clearly and unambiguously worked. Less regulation, less taxation has stimulated economic growth, job creation. Higher tariffs have stopped inflation, and he's been able to accomplish really an economic miracle. That miracle, which will continue because it's a product not so much of Trump's personal actions, but because of the ideology of conservatism and the fact that with control of Congress, he's been able to implement it without any modification, is going to continue. And that is going to increasingly force the northern states, the blue states, into what really you could call the Detroit syndrome, which is that as people leave the state, move out, higher income people leave, lower income people stay, the state raises taxes to try to compensate for it, to try to pay social benefits.
So then more people leave.
To the people who stay. And then more people leave, and taxes go higher, and the migration becomes more pronounced. Detroit, for example, has gone from 1.3 million people to about 700,000 or 800,000 today.
Wow, that's half.
Half. Chicago has dropped from about 2.5 to about 2.3. New York City, which has the least because of its status as a global city, has lost about 300,000.
That's a lot of people.
And this migration is causing tremendous political changes and will continue to, because it's beginning to take effect now. In 28, it'll take more effect, and in 30 and 32, it'll become dominant. That's first of all because the migration is going to continue, and secondly because more and more of it is going to be reflected in reapportionment. The idea of reapportionment midterm was Trump's idea, and people mocked it. They didn't think it would work, and yet it's been very, very successful. And Trump has gained a total of 10 net points in the reapportionment. People laughed at Donald Trump when he began to push Republican-dominated states to do what Democratic-run states had already done for decades, redistrict their states' congressional seats to their partisan advantage. The usual usuals among the Republican Party's oh-so smartest assured us that this would backfire, but Trump understood that Democrats had long ago redistricted to within an inch of their lives and the Republicans hadn't. The advantage in that could only go to the GOP. For example, Illinois has 17 congressional seats, 14 by Democrats, but 54% of the Democrats of the households vote Democrat. But they have 14 of the 17 seats. 60% of Maryland votes Democrat, but they have 7 of 8 congressional seats. New York has 26 seats. Democrats hold 21, but only 55% of the state's population. So Trump decided to act like a Democrat, and Democrats were so spooked that Virginia's new Democratic governor, Abigail Spanberger, broke a major campaign promise not to redistrict. She tried, the state's Democrats tried, they tried so hard that they broke the law. Finally, the state Supreme Court put a stop to it. Trump had his own setback in Indiana where squishy Republican state senators refused to redistrict, but as always, Trump got the last word. Most of the state senators lost their primaries to Trump-backed candidates who will undoubtedly redistrict in time for the next round of House races in 28. However you look at it, Trump won the redistricting war by picking up 16 seats to the Democrats' pickup of just 6, a net GOP gain of 10. For that reason alone, as of today, holding the House is not only possible, but based on the latest Cook political report, Republicans have a real shot. But that's only the beginning, because the migration has continued and has become very, very significant.
Of people leaving states.
California, for example, has lost 2 million people. Whoa. New York has lost 1 million people.
What's their amount of people they have there in California?
There are 54 House seats, so I'm not sure how many people.
No, 2 million people.
2 million people left California.
How many people in California?
And you figure that there's about 700,000 per House district. So right now it works out about 3 seats. I don't know, 30-something, 30, 40 million.
Wow.
But they've lost 2 million. And New York has lost 1 million. Illinois has lost 500,000. And those changes are going to cause huge losses of congressional representation. And the decade's only half over. If you project this out to 2030, you can see California losing 4 million, New York losing 2 million, Illinois losing 1 million, and so on. And you figure it's about 700,000 per House seat. Just take 435 congressmen, goes into 350 million people, comes out to about 700,000 per district. So that's about 4 or 5 House seats in California, about 2 to 3 in New York, 1 to 2 in Maryland, all of which will flip. In addition to that, you have the Supreme Court decision that made clear that you cannot use race to protect your redistricting. Mm-hmm. And the result is that in addition to that, about 20 Democratic seats that are now represented by blacks, kept in power only because of gerrymandering, are now going to be competitive. And you figure about 10 of those may go Republican. So when you put that together, you're talking about a major seismic change that's going to start taking place in 26 because there's some reapportionment going on now.
I was just going to ask.
It will accelerate in 28, yeah.
I was just going to ask on that, what is the percentage so far as how many states, areas are redistricting already? What's the percentage? Is it half of them are or most of them?
5 are redistricting in California, in Florida. 5 are redistricting in Texas. About 10 overall are redistricting because of the Supreme Court decision. Trump is going to pick up about 10 to 15 seats.
So he's going to be all right midterm.
He'll be all right in the midterms.
And that's going to make all the difference in the world, is you being Karnak. Hey, do I have that right? Is it on Johnny Carson? Remember, Karnak would predict the future? Karnak.
No.
Someone will call in and tell me if I'm right or wrong there.
But we're basically looking at a gigantic, amazing change. And by 32, when the redistricting from the 30 census kicks in, finally, you're looking there at a permanent shift. You're probably looking at something like a 225 Republican majority in the House.
Wow.
Probably a majority of 30 or 40 seats.
Wow.
And a majority that probably stays for a long time, if not forever.
Well, that's if
Because it's all based on
right.
a correct apportionment of the population. And you see, as more people move out of the blue states into the red states, the population shift continues. The reapportionment continues.
Won't it shift also to the red state on the blue side? If more blues come into a red state, it's going to shift in that direction there.
It will.
But for this thing to work, we have to stay in power.
Yeah,
Republicans have to stay in power for the next 2, 3, 4 cycles.
But we are. And then I think in addition you have the deportations, that there are roughly 3 million fewer people in the country. Now, that doesn't affect the vote per se because those people can't vote, but they are counted in reapportionment.
Right.
And that will change the numbers for the party mix. So when you combine the number of people who are leaving the country, the deportations, decreasing the population of the blue states, the out-migration from the blue states to the red states, and the reapportionment based on no racial basis for apportionment, you're talking about a gigantic shift in the House of Representatives. No longer will it be a knife-edge thing of one way or the other. It'll be a heavily and perhaps permanently Republican majority.
But those people, those blues, have to go somewhere.
They go to the red states and they change. And they change. In Florida, for example, where there's been massive migration, in Texas, the migration has only helped the Republican Party, not hurt it. They don't bring their ideology with them.
Are you sure about that? Is that how it's going? Because I don't know.
It's how it's going.
Wow.
Whether it'll continue or not, I can't be sure.
But still, if it goes that way now, that's all that matters.
I think it will be. And I think as the trend accelerates, and as people realize that they are leaving the blue states because of taxes and because of Democratic policies, you're going to see an increase in that. So I believe that in 26, we're going to win because we have the advantage in reapportionment. In 26, we're going to win by more because race can't be used to disguise that. You can't have racially drawn districts. In 26, we're going to win because the Trump programs have been so effective in stimulating economic growth and have given a real bias toward the red states.
Yeah, but people don't get complacent because you know the Democrat machine, they're lethal. They're nuts. So they're still going to work at certain things to win. So we can't sit back and say Dick Morris said, we're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to win.
Well, don't blame me.
I'm gonna if people don't go to vote because it's a Knicks game, we're going to win. By the way, Knicks congratulations to the Knicks.
Knicks come from behind all the time.
Oh man, so we are now, right?
3 games where we won. And then 3
that
of the
was amazing.
games
They were down
came from
30,
way behind. Yeah,
30 points. That's
unheard. But let me continue with my point.
Okay.
I think that these changes are enormous, and they're coming in the future. Being able to win the 26th election is the key, because that will permit the reapportionment. It'll permit the House to stay Republican. It'll stop the Democratic noise about impeachment and other stuff that will be going on. And you're going to see the gradual shift in population that will accelerate because the blue states will have to raise their taxes and the red states will keep them low. And people will see that they should move to the red states. That shift is going to continue. California's already lost 2 million people. Probably it'll lose 4 or even 5 by the time the census takes place in 2030.
Wow.
And that would be just an enormous, enormous change in the reapportionment. And then all of that builds on itself. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Or snowball.
Snowballs, yeah. And I think that's what's going to go on in this country. So I believe 26 will be a Republican year. I think it will be the first of a series of Republican years. and will leave America totally different than it is now.
I hope you're right. I know you're right. I know you're so close to being spot on, but I really hope that comes to its fruition. So I'm going to call you Karnak.
Yeah,
and get you a big glass ball.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
But I'm going to go to Home Depot and get one of those glass things that you hang from the ceiling. It's not going to be a real crystal.
American workers grew more confident in May, even as their expectations for inflation declined. According to the Federal Reserve, New York's monthly survey, the perceived chance of voluntarily losing a job in the next 12 months dropped 2.6%, the best reading since February 23. The increase was across age, education, and income groups. Voluntary quit expectations are widely regarded as a measure of worker confidence, but as workers are typically more willing to leave the security of an existing job when they believe they have attractive alternatives. The New York Fed describes the measure as the expected quit rate. So,
what is voluntarily quit expected? People that just quit their job?
Take this job and shove it.
Shove it, really?
Yeah, right.
Oh, my God.
And you now have 2.6% who say that they are likely to quit their job, which is great. It means that they believe there's another one coming.
Oh, that's how you're looking at it.
It's that they believe that they're not in a tight labor market, that they don't have to cling to a job they don't like. They don't have to work on Maggie's farm no more.
They got to get the Jamaican man. They all have 18 jobs. There was a great skit on Living Color. Jamaican, the one comes, so you lost your job. Yeah, I only have 14 jobs now. Whatever, come on. It was great. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we got more skits to talk about.
The Dick Morris Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.